Child Nutrition Program, also known as school meals, is an important part of the educational day. The primary purpose of the program is to safeguard the health and well-being of the nation's children. Child nutrition programs provide a wholesome breakfast, lunch, and after-school snack for many of North Carolina's 1.4 million students.
My name is Cynthia Sevier. I'm the Director of School Nutrition Services for Guilford County Schools. I came to Guilford County a couple of years ago and came with the commitment to make changes for a healthier program. I think the cafeteria absolutely contributes to student learning. It's more than just math and reading. If they haven't been fed, if they're hungry, they won't learn. Their attention span will not be good. We want students to learn to make healthy choices for a lifetime. And we do that by offering whole grains, fresh fruits and vegetables, healthier meat choices, fresh milk, and we hope that they'll carry over to choices they make at home, and again for a lifetime. What we find is that school meals are healthier than what most children bring from home, but we know if they eat school lunch, they're going to get a hot meal with fresh choices made fresh today. We know that they'll learn to eat more fruits and vegetables. They'll probably drink more milk, and they're less likely to drink soda and high sugar drinks, and maintain a healthier weight.
There are basically two types of foods offered in schools during the school day. Meals served through the USDA National School Lunch and Breakfast programs, and all other foods sold at school, typically served through a la carte choices, vending machines, concessions, fundraisers, and class parties. Meals served under the school lunch program must, by federal law, meet the specific nutrition guidelines and meal patterns set by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The nutrition guidelines used by the USDA are consistent with the dietary guidelines for Americans. For example, no more than 30% of calories in a meal can come from fat, and less than 10% can come from saturated fat. School lunches must also provide 1/3 of the recommended dietary allowances of protein, vitamins A and C, iron, calcium, and calories. If schools meet all these guidelines, they are reimbursed by the USDA for a portion of each meal sold to students, and this reimbursement helps keep the price of school meals low.
Even with all the nutrition and meal pattern requirements for reimbursement, schools can still make decisions locally on what is served to their students. A typical school meal would include a meat or meat alternate, 3 or more fruits and vegetables, at least 1 raw, 1 whole grain item, and 8 ounces of low-fat or no-fat milk. Schools can choose to serve pizza, chicken nuggets, and French fries, but the meal still has to meet the dietary guidelines for Americans, so these foods are normally lower in fat and saturated fat. These foods are baked, not fried, made with lean or low-fat ingredients, and served with fruits and vegetables, so the meal is not only nutritious but delicious.
Child nutrition programs must generate enough revenue to pay for food, supplies, equipment, indirect costs, and salaries. Since the USDA reimbursement only covers a portion of these expenses, some North Carolina school systems sell a la carte foods and drinks in addition to school meals. For child nutrition programs statewide in North Carolina, 52% of funding comes from USDA reimbursement, 47% comes from a la carte sales, and 1% comes from other sources. As you can see, child nutrition programs rely heavily on the sale of a la carte foods to maintain revenues. A la carte items are anything sold separately from the reimbursable school meal. For example, an a la carte item can be a carton of low-fat milk, a second entree, or a cookie. Students may also have access to food and drinks in school stores and through fundraisers, vending, and other sources. These types of foods are not offered as part of the child nutrition program. They are called competitive foods because they compete with the school meals program. In other words, the presence of these foods can affect a student's ability and/or willingness to purchase a school meal.
School meals have become much more nutritious in North Carolina over the past few years. Kids are accepting and being offered healthy, nutritious, and appealing meals in the school cafeterias. They're getting items such as low-fat cheese, low-fat dairy products, whole grain items. For example, pizza that's now being offered in school cafeterias comes on a whole wheat crust and with low-fat cheese. Also, we're baking a lot more items like chicken, French fries, versus in the past those items being fried. Yes, we're very excited to see that a lot of North Carolina school-aged children are accepting these changes. Unfortunately, one of the downsides is that it is more expensive for child nutrition programs to offer these options. For example, some of the food options are much more labor intensive for our staff to prepare. Also, a lot of the options that you see available in grocery stores aren't necessarily available to us. So we are seeing a decrease in revenues, but we're also seeing an increase in participation, and we're seeing an increase in the enthusiasm of our parents and our students in participating in the program.
North Carolina is one of the few states in the country that provides no state reimbursement for child nutrition programs. But serving healthy foods in school comes with a price. In addition, child nutrition programs must balance many priorities.
Well, first of all, we want our students to be happy. They're our priority. But we also answer not only to our students, but to their parents and to our local Board of Education. And then we have tons of regulations that we have to meet that are state, local, and federal guidelines. We also have to balance a budget, and that's really hard to do. We need our students to eat in order to pay for the high labor costs and our equipment and anything else that we use in a cafeteria. You know, at the end of the day, we want to be able to sleep at night knowing that we've offered our children the very best, and that's at breakfast and lunch. And that we're trying to help them be learners just alert and ready to go. Child nutrition, I think in the state of North Carolina has come a long way in only wanting good things for students, not only within our meals, but everything else that we sell.
You can voice your opinion as far as the community, parent, or anyone. One of the things that you might want to do is write a letter to voice your opinion, and you always can call the Child Nutrition Director. You can also promote school meals as a healthy, low-cost choice. Eat school meals with children. Be a role model for your children by eating smart and moving more at school and at home. And educate children on how to eat smart and move more at home and at school. We all can play a role in helping North Carolina's children by being the best they can be. Students really can succeed with healthy school meals.